Good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining us on 13 Plus. I'm Mary Coleman. Let's dive right into our stories for this evening. Identity theft can happen to anyone, as we know, but one study focuses on how identity crimes have a unique impact on certain communities. We spoke with authors of the report about what you need to know so that you can protect that information.
The Black Researchers Collective prides itself on taking their research to the streets, helping to train and equip communities with information about policy. It's why Sherry Runner and Dr. Glennis Green say issuing this report on identity crimes impacting African Americans is vital.
We want to make sure that we are adding to the positive restoration of those communities and not just doing the research for the sake of saying that this happened.
The study, in collaboration with the Identity Theft Resource Center, or ITRC, spoke with focus groups from 3 major cities with large Black populations, asking about experiences with ID theft, how they've protected themselves against it, and if they were able to recover when compromised.
Some of the most prevalent incidents of victimization fell within 5 or 6 categories. 1, through bank accounts, credit cards, and checks. 2, income tax, unemployment or other types of scams. 3 was really around the misuse of personal identity information in childhood when they were younger. The 4th one was really around phone, utility bills. And the 5th one was really around car, home, and student loans.
Of those who were the victims of identity crimes within the last 5 years, at least a quarter were victimized during the pandemic. Most participants told the organizations they were taken advantage of by strangers. However, 40% recounted various incidents carried out by people they knew, with a majority being family members, which Dr. Green says could be a personal and complex battle for those exploited.
As it pertains to family members, there's something very unique to the Black cultural experience that shaped whether or not folks made a decision to address those things. We depend on one another. We support one another. In addition to that, we are working within structures that have historically oppressed us as well, right? And so the people that we're going to for support and remediation, one, and this came up in the study, don't really necessarily believe the stories that we're telling them. There aren't any really clear pathways for it necessarily being resolved.
To help reduce the risk of identity theft, James Lee with the ITRC says you can do things ahead of time to lower the chances of your info being taken.
You need to make sure that you keep your personal information safe and secure, that you use strong, long passwords on your accounts that you use online.
He also says if you're using a lot of accounts online, make sure you're using multi-factor authentication and make sure you keep your records safe and secure.
We know in these particular cases, because it is a family situation in many cases, make sure that you keep that information restricted to only people who really need it. And this is going to be the tough part, is making sure that you understand the consequences of what happens if your information is compromised and you don't do something to try to remedy that. And explain that consequence to your family members as well.
Both the ITRC and the Black Researchers Collective plan on doing more studies, programs, and public awareness in those cities and hopefully others across the country, not only to reduce ID theft in Black communities, but to inform, educate, and inspire the community.
Your personal identity is information, and data is information, and information is power. So use that. Remember that as you think about it.
With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
To see that full study and learn more about resources to help you if you believe you were a victim of identity theft, head on over to our website at KOLD.com. And let's end this cast on a happier note. There's always a good time to celebrate our veterans, as many of us know here. Our investigative team introduces us to a veteran whose mission is to honor female servicewomen. Take a look.
According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, more than 2 million women veterans live in the U.S. today.
One of them is on a new mission to honor her fellow former servicewomen. Reporter Brittany Crittenton shows us how.
I'm going to have you stand just like this. You're going to be facing the light.
Sarah Weedy is trying to help show these veterans the honor they deserve. one photo at a time.
They signed the check that was blank, payable to the amount of their lives. We knew that there was a risk associated with it. Did you miss the Navy?
An Air Force pilot herself, Weedy volunteered to start the tribute project after hearing stories like this.
Tapped her like on the shoulder and was like, hey, you should be ashamed of yourself. She was like, why? He's like, you're wearing your husband's jacket. That is stolen valor. You're actually the second SK
Unfortunately, Sailor Patricia Roberts has had similar experiences.
They'll say, thank you to your husband it's for serving. And I kind of get mad and I said, look, I'm the one that served. I said, my ID card, here's my ID card.
There's some that don't smile, there's some that do. The whole purpose of the photo shoot was just to kind of let people know, hey, there are female veterans in the community. We raised our right hand just like our brothers did, and we're here, We're not looking for praise or accolades, nothing like that. We just want people to know that we're here.
Donna Sargent served in nuclear medicine in the Air Force in the 70s. She says there used to be limited career fields for women in the military.
Now we got girls that fly fighter planes. So, there's just no career field not open to women anymore. And I think that's great.
Weedy's tribute to women veterans has been gaining attention. She's taken photos in cities from El Paso to Big Spring.
We just wanted them to know that the women are out here and serving just like the men are, on the ships, out in combat, the whole 9 yards.
We want to show you some of the results of Sarah's work honoring our mothers, sisters, and daughters who serve.
Sarah posted all of the portraits on her Facebook page. Just search West Texas Female Veterans Photo Tribute.
How beautiful are those? What an awesome story there. Be sure to join us Monday through Friday at 7 every evening, and you can get more stories like this. And be sure to join us on 13 News Live at 10, where we will have all your news headlines and your weather as well. But for now, as we've been doing, we will leave you with a live look of the Tucson metro area. Look at that sky, that cloud looking beautiful over the area. Nice and warm, I would say, warm compared to how it has been. Hope you are enjoying your evening, and we hope you will join us once again for 13 News Live at 10.